Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social Season 3, Episode 17, and I'm joined by the boys Ben and Maz. And guys, I know we lost the game, right, and it wasn't the best day out, but we've still been very good up until now. The Zerbi era is still very positive amongst the fan base, but how are we all feeling across the board of the last weekend, boys? How was it for you guys? Start with you, Maz, because you went to the game.
I did, yeah. 2 games in a week, mate. Look at that, absolutely.
Look at that,
PB, mate. No, it was really good to go to the game. Saw your mum and sister as well. That was nice at half time.
Yeah, that's mad.
Well, at the game or afterwards?
At half time, we had a little chin wag, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. It was such a great start. Like, you know, the euphoria of scoring straight away, and then obviously it all unfolded after that, and we just didn't look like Villa put 10 men behind the ball and wasted time, and it was one of those frustrating games
so much.
Where Eddie Martinez took about 30 years to take a goal kick.
Prick.
So
he only got booked for squaring up to dunk. I actually hate them. I didn't realise that they're very close to. So you've got Palace and then probably Chelsea and Villa on par now. I just so much. Hatred
I don't know. My hate for Chelsea is thick and fine. I'm not gonna lie. I am a big Chelsea hater right now. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. They were frustrated. To
answer your question, it was a frustrating, very very frustrating watch. And as soon as Lallana went off, I think. De Zerbi could have maybe made like a like for like. So I feel like Enciso wasn't the right player to come on, and I felt like as soon as that happened, we didn't look the same. Especially and Matoma was just such a clear miss. Like as soon as I knew he wasn't in the squad, I was like, right, okay, this isn't good. And do we know why he wasn't? Was it illness? Was it injury?
Apparently he had COVID. I mean, I think he had COVID. I think him and Webster both had COVID, which is unusual these days, right?
Welbeck a couple of weeks ago as well, wasn't it? It is back. There's a lot more COVID that I know around.
Yeah. Frustrating afternoon. Very frustrating afternoon. And I was very annoyed.
Sorry, man. And Ben, sorry, what are you saying?
Mate, just so frustrating. It's one of the most horrible football matches I've seen for a long time. Especially like that involves Brighton, that's for sure. It was so frustrating to watch and not being able to just scream at them and shout out. I wanted to run the pitch and just do one of those like Birmingham fan done to Jack Grealish. That's all I wanted to do to Tyrone Mings. Or any of the Villa players. It just kept
as soon as we did that
John McGinn just kept going down
and back and bite us.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that was so funny.
What was it? We done the shit.
I knew it was
you're just a shit dunk.
Yeah, you're just a shit.
And then Dunk gives away a penalty 5 minutes later, and then they score from it. It's just typical Classic. Brighton. Yeah, mate. Honestly, just really, really hate them. I know hate's a strong word, but it was toxic. In my living room, it was toxic, and I had to work for it as well, so I had to have a kind of level head for it. But it was tough to watch. Horrible.
No, I get you. I mean, to be honest, I was really, really, really angry after the game. Like my head was hot for a while, but I'm over it now. I think I don't know. It was just one of those where I was like, it was just a really pretty rubbish day. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just pretty rubbish. Like it wasn't great, and I think it was just one of those where I was like, okay, it's just been a bad day. The referee's just been terrible. It's pretty much gone against us today. We've had a rubbish one, right? But it's going to happen. And I thought we've had such a great last few weeks that I could just let it slide a bit. I was a bit like, we've had these great moments under De Zerbi in the recent weeks. So I'm just like, I can't be really upset because I know how good it has been. So I was a bit like that. And I think as well, just, the Villa wasting time and the Martinez was just like the modern day Kasper Schmeichel. And I was just like, oh, God's sake, it's just, I think it was just one of those, it was just one of those days.
We made that bloke as well, so he should show us some respect. Obviously after Leno.
We gave him a career.
Yeah, we gave him a career, mate. He should show some more respect for the Amex and the prick.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, it just was frustrating. But I think overall, like, we weren't that bad. I think that Fulham was our worst game of the season. I think that Fulham away was the one that I say is probably the worst. And then Villa probably edges it. I'd say that it's just better in the sense of we weren't, we probably deserved something out of the game. I think after Fulham, we were out of it like, we probably could have lost a couple more there. Whereas against Villa, we actually did have a few chances. Maybe didn't have enough shots or anything like that, but we had a few chances. That Levi Cole header will forever haunt me because my God, how did he not score that? I can't get onto a 19-year-old's back, of course, but that was a header that should have hit the back of the net, wasn't it? Sure.
Or just hit the target. That's for me. Like, don't necessarily have to score, but just hit the target from there. It was a free header, and it was just And going back to your point of like we should have got something out of it. I agree with you in terms of we dominated possession, or we had big parts of the spell.
Maybe 2-2. I think a draw.
I don't know though, because the way I look at it is like, did we actually create any clear-cut chances after McAllister's goal?
Not many.
No, and
there's probably like 2.
That's what I'm like, and a lot of Villa fans actually are like, what do you mean you deserve something out, but you didn't do anything? And it's like, I actually agree to an extent because we actually did. We didn't actually create. Like, don't get me wrong, we dominate in terms of having the ball and looking the more likely to score. I would definitely say we were definitely on top majority of the game, but when you actually look at it on the whole of it, and we'll get onto the goals because the second goal,
that's what I was going to say. That's the difference. That's why I think we feel like it's a bit unjust. Like we should have had a draw because the 2 goals were our mistakes. They weren't well worked goals from Villa at all.
Exactly. I think that's So
it's not like they didn't deserve their goals. Maybe they had the decent spell in the second half when Buendia hit the post, and then obviously they scored after the next phase after that. But they didn't really deserve to score, and nor did we. Which is why I think it was a draw. There are too many goals in the game.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's bang on. To be fair, that's good. That's a good.
I think with that, because we could do the first goal, but it was just stupid from Dunk. To be honest, I think that it was. I think it was. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is like 2016 Lewis Dunk just diving in.
As soon as he's
completely lost his head, like
does that.
Yeah, he always seems to do it, and it's like I think it was probably Dunk's worst game.
What did I say as well? What did I say? Literally the podcast just gone. Do you remember? We were talking about whether he should be in the England team, and I said he's always got that one mistake in him. He's always got that one moment.
He just lets his head get the better of him when it matters, doesn't he? And it's just so frustrating. Like,
but it was all over the top, wasn't it? He was struggling because the ball went over the top and he paced just let him down in terms of he was sort of playing catch up and he's like, fuck, I've got to do something here. Either I go in or I let him score. Well, let him have a shot. So he's obviously gone with the latter.
You two would have missed it, but on the Sky commentary, Jamie Carragher said that's the thing about Lewis Dunk. He always is last ditch. He was like he's always last ditch. Like every time he does a tackle, he's always flying and landing on his arse. Yeah. Everything's always last ditch. He doesn't just like kind of think. Like when he just flew into that Danny Ings to block it. And then Danny Ings obviously dummied him.
2021 with like such a great year of, I think it was last year, wasn't it? Where he was like, we thought he had finally matured out of that, and it was didn't really seem to do that anymore. The chest back to the keeper and everything, he was flowing with confidence. Whereas I think that like particularly that Villa game, it was just like old school Lewis Dunk of completely lost his head. I don't know if it's anything to do with Webster, because obviously Webster was out, and it makes you appreciate maybe how good Webster is even when he's not on his best days, because maybe Lewis Dunk was missing that partner next to him. Colwell is I'm sure he's going to be a great player in the future. He's not like the partner, is he? If you
he might have wanted to try.
I thought Cole was all right. Like I saw he was getting a bit of stick.
He was all right.
Yeah, I didn't. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he was brilliant or anything by any stretch. But I didn't think he was
good
bad.
First half.
Yeah, some people. Do you know what I really liked about him was his forward passes, like the ones that he did to Lamptey a few times towards the end of the game. Yeah, like those little through balls, like the vision just to try it, and he pulled off one of them. One of them didn't make it, but yeah, that's it. Yeah. So it's I thought he got a bit of unfair stick, to be honest. I didn't think he was as bad as a lot of people made out. I thought he was alright.
He's rapid as well. I know we said it when we beat Arsenal. He's like very similar to Saliba, absolutely rapid. I think there was a time when Dia was running down the wing. Colwell did make a mistake actually, I think, and they just bodied him off the ball and then beat him for pace so easily. He's rapid for a centre back, isn't he? Yeah. But I'm sorry, quickly on Lewis Dunk. Quickly, I don't know if the occasion got the better of him, because obviously there's all those comparisons with him and Tyrone Mings. I don't know if that made him play the part and he wanted to overperform and really, really make sure that he was the better centre-back on the day. So he was trying these big tackles, which obviously didn't pay off.
Yeah,
I honestly think that the biggest thing with Dunk was Webster. I just think that, as much as Webster maybe hasn't been on form and maybe even if you were to question him, maybe it was even a tactical thing to drop Webster for Colwell, because Colwell was so good against Arsenal. But I think that when you've got such an experienced head and an experienced partnership between the two of them, and then obviously to lose him to illness so soon before the game, I'd imagine it wouldn't have been much before it. It's just one of those where I think Dunk maybe wasn't ready to work with Colwill like that. I think I just think it was probably Dunk's worst game. But anyway, I'm not going to get on his back because obviously he's a club legend and he's been so good for us so consistently. But yeah, it was a strange off-colour performance from him. But then I guess as well, like the World Cup around the corner, I know it's got nothing to do with Dunk, but it felt like a lot of the players on that pitch were just a little bit lethargic, and it looked
like an end of season game.
To get hurt. Yeah, it was like a pre-season friendly, wasn't it?
Mm. But I also think, wait, what was I going to say? My brain's literally just gone.
Classic. I'll say
I also think, you go, Maz. That's horrendous. What was I even going to say?
I don't know. I can't even help you with that one. But no, I just wanted to say as well, just finally on Dunk. I feel like with him, and I said it last week, it's just that he has got the potential to be a very, like, don't get me wrong, I don't know how to word this, but he's very good. He's very, very good. But yeah, it's just that those slight mistakes, those lapses of concentration, and he just, sometimes lets like his emotions get the better of him, I think, and he does make some rash challenges, which we saw against Villa.
He's always done that though, and he's always had that rashness in him. But I think, like, as I say, he matured for such a long time, and you didn't see that at all for a good probably year and a half, I think. And I think maybe the injury and stuff maybe knocked his confidence. Then he's come back, kind of a bit of confidence. Then it just all sort of went out the window against Villa.
It was basically the opposite of what Ivan Toney did against Man City. Like, you know how he shut his doubters up, he's like he's doing all that. It's like the complete opposite. Yeah, Dunk was like, well, there you go, Gareth, you made the right choice.
I've remembered what I was going to say now. Whenever we play Villa, it's never a good game. We barely ever get a decent result out of it. And there's always something controversial, which obviously we talk about the penalty that wasn't. I cannot believe that was not a penalty. How on earth did VAR look at it and then not give it? That angle of him just clearly missing the ball, Solly March getting the ball first, and just clattering into Solly's calf. Like, how the fuck was that not given as a penalty? Yeah. And I know, was it 2 years ago when we played Villa Park, when Solly March brought down Trezeguet? Do you remember that, when he like literally got the touch from the ball? It was like in the 94th minute, and it wasn't given a pen. That was the right decision because he just got the ball first and then took out Trezeguet. But this one, Digne did not get any of the ball, and I do not understand how we were robbed of a penalty there.
Do you know what I think was even more making me even more annoyed than the penalty? The penalty didn't annoy me as much as probably just all of the little cheap diving and time wasting and little things like that the ref kept giving, and the goalkeeper, and you'd touch Brent Deer and he'd be on the floor for another 30 minutes. And I think all of those little things were more annoying overall than the actual penalty call itself, if you know what I'm trying to say. Don't get it wrong, penalty was annoying, especially
that would
when
have got us the draw.
But like it was just so frustrating. It was like Brentford away. Like Brentford away, they knew when to kill the time. They did it throughout the whole game. And people could say it's clever in the modern game, but my God, is it frustrating to watch? It's just not pretty at all.
It's one of those where if your team does it, it's great because you won the game. But if it's not your team, it is. Honestly, I was sat there. I was absolutely fuming. I was just, one of those fans you look at and you think, what is he doing? Like, just calm down. I think I was that fan. I was just like screaming at Martinez. I was getting so frustrated.
You were on TV as well, Maz. It was like the 50th minute, maybe.
Just behind De Zerbi. No, it was for me the referee. Not only because we can moan all day about how bad he was for us, but let's be real, he was also bad for them. I think he had a terrible game overall.
Terrible. Yeah,
he was
Chris Kavanagh, wasn't it?
Christopher Kavanagh.
And didn't he book De Zerbi as well? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He went mad.
Mate, it was a tough watch. It was one of them. As I said, it was one of those days.
Also, as well, I want to talk about the goals for us, McAllister, because a lot of people were saying that was it a foul on Douglas Luiz, which when I was watching it, I didn't think it was, but obviously the benefit of having TV replays, I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it back. If I'm being honest with you, I just saw it.
I was actually sorting out the speaker because the speaker was broken in the TV. So, and then as soon as I plugged it in, I hear, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I'm missing goal.
Classic.
But I don't think it was a foul.
I think it would have been soft.
For their seconds, it wasn't a foul either. It was just they got Douglas Luiz.
I don't think any real Villa fans had any complaints about it, did they? It was just like one of those ones. Anyway, boys, let's move on to a bit of a brighter note.
What the hell is brighter going on with Brighton?
Yeah,
Paul Winstanley's about to leave.
Wait, hold on. Final one on Villa game. Final thing on the Villa game. The winning goal for Villa. Can we just talk about how shit it was? Like, it's one of those goals where you watch it and you think that's just won them the game, and it was one of the worst. Like, it's such a disgusting goal to concede. It was horrible.
Honestly, Colwill, Dunk, and Sanchez for that was so questionable. Like, it was so bad to watch.
It's
like the most consistent performers in Sanchez and Dunk of recent times. To then see them pull off like whatever that was, where Dunk went in for it. I don't know how Sanchez couldn't even get a foot on that or something, anything on that, like his head on
it's
that.
Like he sort of just watched it go
past it.
Yeah,
I think he'd already gone down and like stretched down, so to immediately stretch again after deflect would have been really, really tough. It looked awful. It looked like he just watched it go in. But I swear we never score those type of goals. Like we never.
Literally,
it's only against us when we have those embarrassing goals like that.
Literally, it reminded me of that season when it was Houghton's last year, and we seemed to concede stupid goals. I think it was against Bournemouth or something, and like we always conceded such terrible goals.
Well, they scored 5 against us, so it would have been one of them.
Yeah, and it was just, but it was just those like p-rollers that just go past the keeper at -2 miles an hour, and you're like, how does that even go in? Like, it's something you'd even see on FIFA. Like, it's just
literally
mad.
FIFA goal, horrendous.
It was just, mate, as I say, it was a bad day. Just a bad day.
And then final one from me, and then we will move on. The night before we were watching Arsenal versus Newcastle. Arsenal.
Wolves.
Arsenal Wolves. So we had like a group bet, and we were all at the pub, and we done like a big group bet, but just for one game, right? We won't talk about what happened in that one. But anyway, so we did it for the Brighton Villa game, right? And then by the 35th minute, okay, so the payout was of 25 quid, we could have won 5.7 grand between 5 of us, right? By the 36th minute, we had 3 out of the 5 things come in. So we had Danny Mings' yellow card. Tyrone Mings' yellow card. Danny Ings' anytime goal scorer. We had over 8 corners, which came in pretty much straight away. And then all we needed was Brighton to win, and Alex McAllister to get a yellow card. There was 9 yellow cards. McAllister wasn't one, and Brighton obviously lost for 5.7k. Mate, honestly, I thought, it was the worst.
You should have cashed it, mate.
Mate, cash out went up to like 320, but because it was a 6 of us, it was like. It's like 50 quid each, and it was a bit like, might as well let it run, yeah. But anyway, that just topped off the whole evening. I was like, classic Brighton. Cheers, lads.
One of them.
I'm intrigued to find out what this Bright thing is that you're about to talk about, Brian, because I can't think of it.
I estimated, to be honest with you, I was going to talk about the World Cup. I completely forgot about Paul Winstanley, actually. Yeah. But yeah, Winstanley actually, just quickly, obviously has been confirmed to join the Clown Snakes, whatever you want to call them, over at Cobham. And funny enough, Paul Winstanley actually follows me on Talk Seagulls and has done for a very long time. And I've never followed him back. But I've just DM'd him putting shame, full stop.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's so just is a shame, isn't it? And he still does follow me. Like, you can say I'm being irresponsible on a platform, and maybe you could be right. But
fuck him, man.
It just is.
He's not Brighton anymore, so who cares?
I respect the hustle for him, because obviously you would take a big opportunity.
You take the money,
but
we've now lost 7 people. Ben, we've now lost 7, and we also have lost obviously Cucurella last year, and we could be losing as of this morning Robert Sanchez, Leandro Trossard, and Moises Caicedo in January. But anyway, yes, it is very frustrating to watch.
It's
but
so
anyway,
frustrating.
we move on, don't we?
Don't move on.
Keep saying.
Let's bitch about it, because it's infuriating that it's happened again.
Mate,
it's happened again.
Do you know what? It's like, do you agree with me there? Like, I know you meant to move on and stuff, and I get it. I get the whole thing. But the fact that there's another one, and then there's another one, and then there's another one. It's like you can't move on yet.
Exactly. I know Ben loves an analogy. It's basically like your ex keeps posting on Instagram, and you just you keep seeing her pop up on Insta, and you're like, I thought I unfollowed you, but clearly not.
Or if like your ex has cheated on you, and then she says, "Oh, I've only slept with one person," and then every other week she's like, "Oh, there's another guy. Oh, there's another guy as well. Oh, there's another guy as well." You fucking...
Yeah, now it's 7, and now it's 7, and you're crying every night in your bedroom.
But it's just frustrating because really it, I get it's football and I get it's business and I get this, things happen and blah 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 blah. But you cannot tell me with a straight face that this has nothing to do with Potter, because if you do, you are lying to me. You are absolutely lying to me. I refuse. And if any Brighton fan wants to pipe up on Twitter with their no profile picture and weird likes on Twitter as itself, come on the pod. Come on the pod. This is your opportunity. If you want to have a go at me for being negative, or have a go at anyone on the podcast for being negative about this, or keep dragging it on, come on the pod, and we want you on next week because we can have a real conversation about it as to why you don't agree with us. Because
we want you.
That's it. We want you.
What I was going to say, final
anyway.
thing on Winstanley. I've done a Ben. I think I had something to say and I've completely lost it. Yeah, I've done a Ben.
More like L. Stanley.
Yeah, I've lost my
anyway.
train of thought. Go on.
It doesn't matter anyway. We move on with it, and
we'll still be unbelievable and still beat them 4-1 next time we play them as well.
Exactly. And
but
actually,
I love how
I wanted to mention.
Sorry, Brighton Twitter.
we all remember something at the same time.
I remembered. Sorry. I remembered. One thing that could work in our favour now is that the fact that a few of the players have seen what's happened to Kukureya and Potter and these people that have left.
Basuma.
Like we were saying, Basuma. The grass isn't always greener. So maybe, just maybe, come January, they might think, actually, is it the right move? Do I wait for, let's say, the summer, or do I wait till next year? Hopefully that will actually make them think twice rather than just jumping ship at the first opportunity.
Funny you say that. Jamie Redknapp even said, and he doesn't say a lot of smart stuff, but he said something quite decent. He was like, talking about Trossard potentially moving to Chelsea or moving in January, and he was like, but he's kind of saying like, why would you move when you're the main person in a team that's just getting better and better? You're still getting paid decent money. Why would you move, and especially to a team that's not even doing that well at the moment? Just stay at the club and be the main man, which
money,
you are.
Yeah, that's the only reason to do it.
Yeah. Money's literally the only reason.
Okay. I was going to say actually, just while we're on the subject of transfers and ish. Obviously, by the time we come back next time, it's going to be the transfer window within a week. So I just wanted to say I saw the Mudryk guy, obviously this morning, being linked with Arsenal. But also, he said that De Zerbi's been in contact with him over coming to Brighton, which is hilarious to see. Yeah. And I also saw a quote on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter from him, which said that he doesn't care about the club's history or stature. He just cares about the style of play, which is a very interesting
quote. And
playing
time as well, wasn't it?
And playing
time. He said he would rather move to Arsenal and play than move to Real Madrid and be on the bench, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
He said that theoretically. Yeah.
But yeah,
that would be a huge signing because he looks very, very good though, doesn't he? It's quite public that Arteta really wants him. Yeah. Well, we got money, mate. Okay. We've got so much compensation for like 800 staff that have left the past month. We've got compensation. We've got players that have gone.
We must have a lot of money. We must have a lot of money in the bank, as the famous words of Graham Potter said. Actually. Anyway, let's move on finally with World Cup, because it's weird to say that. World Cup. I show speed. That's it. Views, bang, speed.
Speed title.
But no, it's an interesting one because obviously it doesn't feel like. I don't know what it should feel like, but it doesn't feel like it to me. I don't feel anywhere near like I did in 2018 when the last World Cup was around, where I was proper buzzing for it and looking forward to it. And now it's in the middle of the winter. It's a bit like
I'm cold, mate.
Okay, this is strange. But yeah,
it's cold outside and it's the World Cup. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it is really weird. But yeah, how are you all watching? What are you feeling for the World Cup this Sunday?
Yeah, you go.
It starts.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually working. Refa's my input. Hold on, 2 secs. Sorry, 2 secs.
I'll go whilst
Ben, you take it.
Who's the dog? Look at him. He looks like Neil Warnock on the touchdown. You shut it.
Sorry.
Have a word with him, man.
Sorry. Yeah, have a word.
If you're listening to on Spotify and Apple, Maz picked up his dog and threw it across the room.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. We're not joking.
So I'm working every match day at Box Park. So that should be really fun for Sport Bible. And then I'm also going out to Qatar for a week, which is going to be mental. After the Wales game, England-Wales game, I'll be flying out to Qatar for a week. So yeah, just see what happens with that. I don't know, what games I'm going to be watching next. Obviously, it's all depending on who goes through, etc., etc. But yeah, no, I am looking forward to it. Obviously, the controversy of the tournament and what's been going on with them, it just does kill me. But yeah, 2 secs.
Yeah, I get you.
It's so controversial, isn't it? It's horrendous. Yeah. Like, I think is it something like the European captains or the European teams are going to be wearing like the rainbow captains armbands, aren't they? Or they're meant to be. But Hugo Lloris came out today or yesterday saying that he's not going to do it because he respects the country. He said that if a foreigner came to my country of France, I would expect them to follow our rules. So I'm going to do the same for Qatar, which I understand, but also it's it's probably the last country you'd want to respect, I guess, isn't it?
It's just weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I get the whole point of maybe they don't want to get into problems and potentially, face some like really violent problems out there, because that's the last thing you want. But like, I don't even know the right answer at the moment with the Qatar World Cup. It's just going to have to be, I guess, literally just like take it as football and watch it. But it is really hard to do when obviously so much is so wrong with it.
It feels like as if North Korea have hosted the World Cup, because my brother was showing me yesterday. Wrong, they've got actors out there pretending to support certain countries.
Really?
Yeah, it's just weird. It feels very, very. Even that's just toxic in itself. It's a strange one.
I also I won't go too much into detail just because just in case I get in trouble or whatever. But basically, I got given a a guide, do's and don'ts of what you can and can't do out there. And all I'm going to say is it is wild. I might be able to share it once the World Cup's done, but it is crazy. Like just the stuff that's been included. I'm just like, what the hell?
How are the Barmy Army going to go to a World Cup and not have one beverage? I do not understand.
No. I think that they got like designated areas, so it's all controlled essentially.
Yeah.
So they control basically where you drink, how much you drink, all that kind of stuff.
God, have you seen the fan villages as well?
Oh, it's like Firefest, isn't it? It
mixes Firefest and Canberra Sands.
Yeah, it's giving me Firefest vibes. They're like, we've got these amazing like hotels and accommodation, and then it's just going to be like tents.
It looks like some way where you get a COVID test or a COVID jab.
Yeah,
it's just weird. Like, I don't know, but it is what it is. We have to watch it as we are. We are just fans at the end of the day, like, ladies and gentlemen. We are nothing spectacular, but
fans of Belgium, England, Spain. Who else have we got? We were saying off air, we got 7 players.
Eight. Ghana,
8
Ecuador.
Players.
I've got the list here. So we got Caicedo, Sarmiento, Estepinian, Lamptey for Ghana, Sanchez for Spain, Trossard for Belgium, McAllister for Argentina, and Matoma for Japan.
We're going to win it.
We've got 8 players.
Yeah.
We've got 8 players, and Football Daily forgot about us.
I've got a few questions for you boys. So just like quick fire ones, all right? So out of those 8 players, who's going to be the best player, like star performer?
Callum Hudson-Odoi. Oh wait, no, he bottled it and didn't pick Ghana. Do you not hear about that? No, he was going to go to the World Cup with Ghana. I know, but it's just funny that he still thinks he's still got a chance of England. Out of those players, who's going to do well? I reckon Ecuador will surprise people. I reckon it could be. I mean, obviously, the obvious answer for Ecuador would be Moise Caicedo, but Jeremy Sarmiento, if he's playing for them, I reckon he could.
I think Caicedo will be really good. Like. I just think he's too class to not be. And if he's doing it on the world stage with Ecuador, it could be crazy. Especially first game, where like everyone's watching that game. It could be mad. Yeah. But actually, sorry, what was your question? Who's going to be star performer?
Yeah, who's going to be star performer out of those 8?
What, from us?
Yeah.
Let's say, I think Caicedo probably. I think Matoma could come in with a surprise. I said it on Thogden's tweet, actually, I think. I replied to it and I said, Kara Matoma could be one of the most underrated, and to which one of the Brighton fans said, "How is he underrated?" And I was thinking, like, literally, 90% of the Premier League doesn't even know who he is. So that is by definition underrated. So
he played at uni 3 years ago, mate. He's obviously underrated.
He's obviously underrated. Like, to say that he's not underrated by picking holes in that comment is crazy. But
I think Matoma is underrated. I think Matoma will be the best out of that lot. But and do you know what? I think McAllister, if he I don't know if he starts for Argentina, but if he does, mate, playing in that team, I think he'll shine. With
him
all
and
those
Messi together. That's mental.
That's crazy, isn't it? Just to think of Brighton players playing with Messi. That's just mad.
Yeah,
I still find it mad that he told off the Argentinian team for calling him Ginger. He's like, he doesn't like being called Ginger. Stop telling it. That was a pretty poor accent. I never heard Messi speak. I don't know what that was. God's sake.
Yeah. All right, and then out of those teams,
who's yours? Oh yeah, you said.
Yeah, I said Matoma. Yeah, but out of those teams, who do you think will get the furthest? Ecuador, Ghana, Spain, Belgium, Argentina, and Japan.
Argentina, innit? Sure.
Yeah, like, I think they'll win it. You know,
like, I'd love to be edgy and be like, "Oh no, I think that Ecuador could," but it's going to be Argentina, isn't it? Realistically.
Shout out to the FIFA predictor, because a fun fact for you all. So, like, the last 3 times FIFA predicted the World Cup or simulated it on their game, the team that won it on their game went on to win it. So Argentina won it this year. So obviously they'll win it this year.
Mate, imagine having a World Cup winner in our team. That'd be mad.
Yeah, that'd be actually crazy.
With Alexis
that'd be
mad. That'd be so cool.
That'd actually so crazy.
Be so cool.
World Cup.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, I think that's it for us, really, unless there's anything else to add. Comments down below, boys. What do you think?
McAllister's going to win the World Cup or something like that.
Yeah, just tell us who do you think out of those players is going to win the World Cup, maybe. Their name, and then we'll win the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's interesting, actually. Do that.
Yeah, give us your predictions.
Okay, nice one. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Listen to us for the last half an hour or so. We have been the boys at Seagulls Social, and we'll see you probably during the World Cup at some point.
We'll do something. We'll do something.
But yeah, keep streaming, following, subscribing, however you might be interacting with us, and we'll see you very soon.
Peace.